Hello and welcome to my latest video. Now, this video is a little bit different from the norm in regards to, rather than talking to you about and showing you how to use one of my products, I'm going to talk to you and show you Neeraj's and Bing's latest product, the Counting Worksheets Generator. Now, as the name suggests, this software allows you to create a variety of different counting worksheets that you can use to publish on KDP. But before I get into talking to you about the software and showing you how it works, I want to tell you a little bit about my bonus. So if you do decide to purchase and you do so through my affiliate link, I offer one flat bonus regardless of what option you choose when you purchase the Counting Worksheets Generator. And this is because I want you to purchase what you need and what you want rather than buying extra just to get a better bonus. So my bonus is that you can choose any one software from my Gumroad store. So that's bowspublishing.gumroad.com. And what I mean by that is any single non-bundled software. So for example, we have the Star Battle Generator, the Word Search Generator, Numbricks, Nonograms, word lists, light up puzzles, Numberlink, we have Futoshiki, Neurokabi, got the Mega Pack, Kakarasu, Puzzle Generator, etc. Do take a look at my store, so that's bowspublishing.gumroad.com. And remember, it's any one single product, so that's software that isn't bundled with another. So let's get into taking a look at the Counting Worksheets Generator. So if you're not familiar with the way Neeraj and Bing's do things, they split their software into different packages. So you have the front end, which is the basic software. And then in addition to this, you have a variety of optional upgrades that you can choose to purchase, which either add extra features or extra assets, for example. In this video, I have access to the front end and all of the optional upgrades, but what I will do at the end of the video is I'll take a look at what exactly you get in each package and the price point to make sure you can make the best decision for yourself if you decide to purchase. So let's jump in. So I'm going to hit access now, and this will load this collection page here. So I'm going to create a collection. Let's call that demo and hit create. And then if I click here to load the collection, it will load this screen here. So if you are familiar with Neeraj's and Bing's software, this is a what you see is what you get editor, a bit like Canva. That means you can click on there, add assets, you can move them around, obviously change the sizing of text, bold, the font, etc. And this rings true for all of the assets. So what I will show you in a bit as well, this is the same for the templates. It's super easy to move them around, resize them, etc. But the first thing we want to do before we create our template or user template is we want to set up our page. So down the side here, if you hit settings, this will load up this settings page here. So our first option is our page trim. So here are a list of KDP preset sizes, and what you can do is just select one and then hit update, and this will update the canvas size for you. In this example, I'm going to stick with an 8.5 by 11 and hit update. After this is the option to have page numbering. So at the minute, there's no numbering, but I can choose a variety of different formatting for my numbering, like so. I can choose a start at number, by default 1, and if I want that centered or not, like so. Now, after this is perhaps the most important important thing when you are setting up the software ready to go, and that is your page margins. In this example, I'm going to keep them as the default, but when you create, particularly for KDP publishing, you must make sure you have the right minimum margins. So if you are unsure on what your margins should be, do check out the KDP website, because on there they do have a page where they tell you the minimum margins. And this is so important, because if your margins are too small and then you go to upload, you won't be allowed. It will come up as an error and you'll have to go all the way back through and resize your content to fit the margins. So do make sure you do this and check before you start creating. And then after this is the option to show the page margins. I like to have this on because this means when I create, I know exactly where my margins are and I can ensure that none of my content goes over it. And then finally here on the settings, I have the option for the pages to download, and this is for PDF only. So for KDP publishing, typically you'd want to have this on all because you want the entire book, but you can also do a specific range of pages, or you can do a maximum pages per file. For example, if you wanted to download each page as a separate PDF. So I'm going to put that back on all and hit update. So now I've got my settings, I can get onto creating my actual book. So if I go here and click Counting Templates, this will load up all of the templates that I have available to use. So again, depending on what package that you purchase, you may see less options here as I have the complete package, but I will go through this at the end so you can know exactly what you're getting for on each package. So here I have count and write. So that's count the images and write the answer. I have counting types. So that is count the number of figures of each one, each unique image. I have count and circle. So that's count the pictures and circle the correct number. I have count and color. So that's color the correct number of images. I have number ordering. So fill in the number before, in between and after. I have missing numbers. So fill in the missing numbers in the number grid. I have skip counting. So fill in the missing numbers in sort of multiples. So for example, that's 2, 4, 12. That's going up by tens. I have 10 frames. So how many counters are there in the 10 frame? I have number line. So that's fill in the missing numbers on a number line. I have count by blocks. So count the amount of blocks. I have counting word problems. For example, here start at 710 and count up 1 times by 5. And finally, I have missing numbers in shapes. So let's get started and choose one. Let's go with the first one. Let's go with count the images and write the answer. So once you click on a template, it will load a basic default template onto the canvas. And then you can obviously click to resize this and move this around as you wish. And then you'll also see on the side here, it will load counting settings. But before you do this, I would recommend choosing your icons, because depending on the icons that you use, it can throw your settings off and you have to adjust again. So as you can see at the minute, it's just got preset icons that I didn't choose. So to choose your own icons, what you can do is make sure the puzzle grid is selected, and then up here, click select icons for grid. And then this will load this page here. And then this will allow you to select what icons that you want to use in your grid, and they're applied in a random order. Now, again, depending on what package that you purchase, you may see less icons here, but again, we'll cover that at the end. Let's just choose 10 random ones, hit apply, and this will update my grid with my icons. Okay, let's make that a bit smaller, like so. But what I do recommend that you do is upload your own icons to use to make your puzzles, your worksheets more unique. So to do this, you want to click on the grey area, making sure you're not selecting anything here. And then you'll have this icon here to upload icons. And then this will allow you to upload your own pictures to use. So I'm going to select all of these and hit open. And then hit upload. And now they're uploaded. If I select back on here and I click select icons for grid. Now if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, I now have my uploaded images to use. So let's just select a few of these randomly and then hit apply. And this will now update my grid with my own icons. So now I've got my own icons in here. We're going to move across to the settings. So by default, there's 3 rows and 2 columns in this puzzle. But if I wanted more per page, I can increase this to any number that I want. And of course, resize this down as applicable to fit the page. Like so. If I just go back now to the 2 rows, 3 columns. Oops, sorry, wrong way around. 3 rows and 2 columns. Just so they're nice and big and clear. Like so. Let's put that back and let's move that down a little bit. Like so. Then after this, I have the option to control the grid item width and the grid item height. So I can make this wider if I wish or not. And it's exactly the same principle with the height. I can make this taller or shorter. Now, after this, I have my row spacing. So that's the spacing in between each of my questions, if you were, and the column spacing, which is the spacing in between here. After this, I have the option to show my index. So by default, this is on. And as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I can turn this off. I can add a margin. I can change the way this is displayed. So at the moment it's 1 and a bracket, but I can put 1 and a dot, or I can circle this like so. I can move this down or upwards if I wish by putting a offset on the y-axis. And now after this is my value range. So what this will allow me to do is to change the range of numbers that appear in this puzzle, in this worksheet. For example, basically the difficulty. By default here I've got 6 and 12, but for example I can change this to any range that I want. For example, I might want 10 and 20, and then that now means all of the ones that are generated will have a value between 10 and 20. Now after this, and one of the reasons as well that I said it's important to upload your own icons first, or the icons you're going to use, is because as you can see on my current settings, the elephants there, they overlap a little bit. So what I can do is just bring that scale down a touch. And now we've got white space in between. This is perfect. But again, you can also, if need be, make them a lot smaller or a lot bigger. Now by default, the grid is displayed like a table, very regimented in rows and columns. But what you can also do, for example, is display that as odd, as even, or as truncated. or indeed any mixture of these that you want. I'm just going to stick with the basic default. And after this, we have the option to set our result block border style. So on this example, it's a line, but we can have none. We can put a box or a rounded box. And of course, if we're not choosing none, we can choose our thickness like that. And if we want the border style to be solid, dashed or dotted, let's put dashed on. We can choose the border color. And of course, we can choose any padding that we want and any answer spacing and text wire offset. And then if we show the solution, we do like that. And then, for example, if you see your ones, for example, here, I have 18 and 18, 17, 17. What you can do is get it to regenerate it, like so. So now I have puzzles with all unique numbering on. So now I have my sort of basic worksheet. What I can do now is if I click on it and I click here, this will show me some questions that I could put at the top so the user knows what they're doing. So if I click on it like this, it will automatically put a text box on for me and says count the objects and write the number. But again, you don't need to use that. You can just create a text box yourself and write whatever text you want. I'm going to change that to count the animals and write the number. And then again, you can change the colors, the font, the sizing, formatting, and put that in the center, like so. So then we just go back on there and let's put the solution off, update. So once you have your worksheet, obviously now, if you wish, you can add additional pages here by clicking add page and then using another template. But if you have the OTO one, you have a great feature, which is the bulk clone feature. So what this will do, this will bulk clone my puzzle, and it will keep the same settings, the same formatting, the same style, and create additional puzzles. So if I go up here and hit bulk clone, and then let's just do 5 for quickness. And if you scroll down, you see it's kept my text, it's kept my formatting with my boxes, just with different puzzles. And the same is all the way down. So that's a super quick, easy way to create a book. Is obviously you create your template exactly how you want it, and then use the bulk clone tool, and then that will create many more pages the same. And then what you can do, for example, here I've done 5 of them, so I've got 6 pages in total, and then you might then add another page and then go on to a different puzzle type. For example, counting types here. And then again, you want to choose your icons first. So let's just go on with some sports ones. Hit apply, like so. And again, you can use your own ones if you want. Again, if you go on other ones you want to upload, obviously do the same, click on the grey space and then upload. But the ones that you upload before, they will still be under select icons at the bottom. And then again here, we have the variety of settings, so we can choose the different value range that we want. We can choose the grid item width and height, the number of types. For example, there's 3 different types in here, but for example, you might want 4 or 2, completely up to you. We can choose the stagger strategy as well. Again, similarly to before, the way that the grid is displayed. We can choose the stroke width, the icon grid padding, the space in between. Again, the scaling of our icons as well to make them bigger or smaller. And the same for our answer columns as well. We can change the border style of our result block as well. Have different styles, different border styles as well on the here for our answers. We can control the result block border color, add padding, and obviously offset the text as well. And if we show the solution, that's there. And again, the same principle applies. So this is how you want your puzzle to look. Let's do here. And then let's add a text box. Count the unique images. And then let's make that smaller. Like that. And again, we can follow exactly the same principle again. So we can hit bulk clone, create another 5 of them like so. And then it's created another 5 of those puzzles. So as you can see, it's super easy to create worksheets on here. And if I just show you one more puzzle type, let's go for the missing numbers. And again, same principle applies here. Obviously, we've got no icons, but again, we've got full control of how we want our grids to look. And again, for example, our value range here is 1 to 64, but we can make a larger grid like so. We can choose how the missing numbers are selected. So we've got evens, odds, multiples, or n, or random. Again, we can control all the font scale, the stroke width and color, and offset in the text. And again, we can add text, fill in the missing numbers. Again, wipe that in the center. And again, we can bulk clone that to create 5 more puzzles. As you can see, we've created 5 more different ones. And let's just do one more. So let's show you one more puzzle, add a page, and let's go for skip counting. Let's go for this one here. So you've got to fill in the missing numbers. Now again, this is more similar to the first one. Obviously, we've got no icons, but we can control the rows and the columns, and obviously the sizing here as well. Show our index, the formatting of all that. And now here, we have that option to control the puzzle or the difficulty. So by default here, we've got between 1 and 20, but we can obviously change this to whatever numbers that we like. And we can control the number of items, excluding the start. So it's 8, but we can add more items here if we want. Or you can make them a lot simpler and add less. You can control how many numbers are missing. And then again, we've got the formatting for the result block as well. At the moment it's a line, but obviously you can do a box or a circle. Again, you've got full control over all the formatting. And again, once you're happy, hit bulk clone. And we have then 5 more puzzles following my formatting and my setup. So, hope this really quick video gives you an idea of how easy the software is to use and how powerful it is. And then once you've got your pages in your book ready to go, we can hit generate solution. So that's the I at the top up here. and then back, and then download. So we can download as a PNG, JPEG, PDF, or PTX. You do need the OTO one to download as a PTX, but for example, you can download as a PDF and then upload straight onto KDP. So what is the front end? What does it consist of, and how much does it cost? So the front end is the basic software. This is priced at $47, and here is the list of features. So as you can see, the features are pretty much what I covered in the main video. However, the key points to note here are: get access to 50 high quality built-in icons. So that's fewer icons than I showed you in the main video. You only get access to 50. And then here you have the ability for a one-click page clone, but you don't have the option to do the bulk clone that I showed you in the video. And then we go down some further. So when you download the files, on the front end, you only have the option for the PDF, PNG, and JPEG. You don't have the option to download as a PPTX, a PowerPoint file. And then on here, on the front end, you can only do 100 downloads from the software per month with the front of the OTO one, that's unlimited. And then here, you can only upload 10 icons every upload. So you saw that I uploaded, I think 50 something on the front end. You can only upload up to 10 icons every upload. So yeah, that's the main differences, but the also differences are the sort of worksheets you can create. So this is the front end here. And as you can see here, I have count and write, counting types, count and circle, count and color, number ordering, missing numbers, skip counting, 10 frames, and count by blocks. So I don't have all of the different worksheets that I could create in my version. So what is in OTO1? How much does it cost, and how does it differ from the front end? So OTO1 is priced at $67, and the main differences are here. So if you remember, in the front end, you only have 100 downloads per month. This gives you unlimited downloads. On here, if you remember, on the front end, you couldn't download as a PowerPoint file. This adds the ability to do so. It gives you unlimited color palette options for the text blocks. On here, you can also upload your own images. On the front end, you can't upload your own images. It adds additional counting worksheets and provides further customization options for your worksheets. And it also adds the ability for the bulk clone. So the front end just had a page clone. This allows you to do the bulk clone that you saw in my video. And you also have the ability to bulk delete and shuffle. So if I show you that in here, so the additional worksheets that we have in the front end one are the number line and the counting word problems. And of course here, you're not restricted to the number of icons that you can upload in one go. In the front end, you can only upload 10, but here there isn't a limit. So what is OTO2? How much does it cost, and what does it consist of? So OTO2 is priced at $97, and it consists of 100 missing numbers in Shapes counting worksheet. So as you can see here, I've got my counting template, and what that does is add the missing numbers in Shapes ones. So as you can see here, these are counting worksheets. However, they're based around custom drawn illustrations. So if I just load one up for you to show you, for example, here, they are the counting puzzles that you're familiar with from the main interface. However, they're based around with custom illustrations like this. And finally, you have OTO 3, which is priced at $67. And this is a package of 300 illustrations that you can use with commercial rights to publish onto KDP. So what is the best package for me or for you? Well, obviously this is a really personal question as to what you would get the most value out of. I personally feel the sweet spot is the front end and the optional upgrade number 1. But depending on your circumstances, you may feel differently. So do make sure you go over the videos, check what is in each package so that you make the best decision for yourself if you do want to purchase. I hope that you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching.